Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, Espinal, and joining me through Discord, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the tank top sage in his tank top. It's Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
Well, it's called Partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What's good, Chris? What up, everybody listening? We missed y'all. Yes, I have the tank top on. Yes, I am the sage of said tank top. And you know what? We're here with another guy that don't really rock his title as often.
It's the other way. You gotta go the other way.
You gotta turn it the other.
There
I was
you
pointing
go.
in your right direction from my from my eyesight. I was doing the right thing. I'm
No,
just
you
letting
weren't.
know.
Yeah, but
I-
you should.
know which my
Yeah,
side.
Yeah, but you have to remember, it's like a
I'm
mirror.
pointing at you now. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
yo, guys, do the
Wait, fuck.
Oh, come on, Brian.
Go, all right,
just
wait,
fucking
hold
told
on.
me
I'm gonna clap and you guys go 3, 2, 1.
Wait, how does this shit go? Fusion. Wait,
hold on.
wait.
Shit.
Come on, guys. It's this, you fucking
Wait.
fake nerds.
Fusion. Wait,
Fusion.
are you supposed to? Oh,
No,
that's how it goes.
It's inverted.
Okay. Wait. Oh, you start from the bottom.
Ha.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
All right.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Fusion. Ha! Okay,
Yeah, now you
we're
become
skinny and
old.
we're old. That's what happened to us.
Yeah, that's what happened right there. You guys became
I
skinny
did it
and old.
right. I did it right. Y'all
No,
talking
you-
about
you were
Brian
late.
right now. I didn't do it late. And my fingers was outside the fucking frames. What you talking about?
I went first.
It's okay. We gotta wait 30 minutes and you could try again. But
Sorry for everybody listening. This will be a great time to mention that we do have a video component to this podcast.
We're
that
back,
you can
baby.
check out on YouTube.
yeah, you can
New
watch
Jump
these
City
guys.
podcast.
You guys go watch these guys do the fusion dance. With
Failed
it.
to, honestly.
You guys tried your best. But yeah, let's get into plugs. We got a lot to talk about this week. Even though we only have a few manga, we have a lot to go through. So let's get into it. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole, where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37. That's on Instagram. And at New Jump City Josh. That's on TikTok. While it's still around, I guess.
Yeah, Brian.
You can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And if you ever catch me a century from now when I decide to stream on Twitch, you can find me at twitch.tv/it.
Oh yeah. You can follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram as well, and TikTok while it's around, as Brian said. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, and we will talk about it on our pre-show chat show that we didn't do this week because we are on a time crunch. So usually we do answer questions though, so hit us up on that and check out the pre-show chat show. Last week was really fun. You could also subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, not Google Podcasts, that is defunct, but pretty much everywhere you listen to podcasts, we're on that. YouTube, like Josh mentioned, we are back on YouTube in full force. So hit us up on that. Give us a like, a share, a subscribe if you're so inclined. It always boosts up my morale throughout the day when I see positive engagement on the show. So if you want to help out a guy who works on this podcast day and night, you could do that. And with that, we can get into the pod itself. Let's go with the first show. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1138, The Harley. Last we left off with One Piece. Well, first we have a cover page update. Who's Who is back. And it seems...
Called that.
Yeah, I mean, his headquarters was shaped like Who's Who. So it turns out Who's back.
Oh.
He's back.
Honestly, he has a pretty cool design. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he looks pretty.
Does he?
He looks pretty swagged, I guess. Out, you know, with the kimono.
does.
You know, he looks cool. But he's back, and he's chilling with, I guess, the remainders of Kaido's crew. The kidnapped people that have been going around Wano or seem to be, working for him in various capacities. I feel like there's going to be more to this story than it seems, but yeah, who's who is back, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of Kaido's people throughout this. But
Yeah, like in pockets.
yeah, the remaining crew members that survived.
What are they called? The numbers?
The headliners, I believe. No, the headliners were like the strong, like underlings, but not really. What were they? It doesn't matter. There was a Toby Roppo.
Yeah, I forget the hierarchy. I just think the numbers were like the grunts, like all of the
The numbers, I believe, were like the giant things.
Oh, you're right. It was those big ass. Yeah. What
yeah.
the fuck
I think
was
they were
that?
ancient giants. I think that's what they were supposed to be, but I could be wrong. In any case, we start off this chapter with Loki not doing too well after the Holy Knights, Gunko and Shamrock, have been beating on him and forcing him to trying to force him to join the Holy Knights. And Loki speaks out and says that for as much as you look like him, you got to be related to that red-haired pirate. And we do get confirmation that Shamrock is indeed Shanks's twin brother, the older one of the two, and that at some point Shanks has left. I am assuming because he ended up with Roger as a baby. And Shanks mentioned that he did return to the Holy Land once, but he seems to prefer as Shamrock put it, the filth of the lower world. So, that's interesting. Loki is like, returned, then I see your bloodline has earned my ire twice over. So, he's like, you'll rue this day. Once I get these chains off, you know what'll happen, do you? And we cut over to the animals of the forest. And, Loki mentions how he's watched his friend's fate decided before his eyes, and now he bears the cost of it. So Shamrock takes that as a threat. And he summons his sword that seems to be a sword that has eaten an ancient devil fruit or a mythical zone fruit, the Cerberus. And it manifests as an awakened Cerberus devil fruit user that has swords coming out of all three of its mouths. Pretty cool.
What's interesting is that it doesn't say it's a devil fruit.
I think you can assume, right?
But usually, isn't devil fruit stuff usually immediately clarified as like a devil fruit thing?
Yes and no, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it has all the bearings of the devil fruit, like we know weapons can eat it, and we see the little cloud thing around it. I wouldn't be surprised. It may not be.
Oh, yeah, the cloud, right. I didn't think about the cloud.
It reminds me more of the Gorosei than what it is. I feel like it has more to do with what's going on with the Gorosei than a regular devil fruit.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
ancient devil fruits, I think it's more of a devil fruit that the sword ate. But we'll find out, I guess, at some point.
That's a cool foil to Shanks too. But I guess we could talk more about this another time.
Yeah. So Loki immediately starts freaking out, like, what the fuck is that? And Shamrock is like, my sword. Shamrock and Gunko start to leave, and Shamrock commands his Cerberus to scramble, and its heads shoot out like rockets, while the rest of the body reintegrates itself with Shamrock's sword. And as he's flying away, Shamrock tells Loki that if he should survive, to come find him and kill him, because he'll be ready for him. And then as these things like homing missiles are keying into Loki, Loki's like, whoa, you don't mean it. Even I can't handle getting run through by those. And then he gets fucking impaled 3 times over by the Cerberus swords. And Loki seems to have passed. I doubt it. But, he got stabbed 3 times by a dog sword.
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
I mean, I'm sure he's still alive, but he's definitely not okay.
Yeah, people in One Piece have survived worse, weirdly enough.
L survived a nuke, so I think.
Yeah, after Pal survived a nuke, anybody can survive anything. You'll get there, Josh. Anyway, we cut back to Luffy and the gang in the Arust Castle, where they find the giants that Shamrock and Gunko ran into when they first got there, and they're explaining that they saw Shanks, and that Shanks beat them up. And Luffy refuses to believe it. It's like, there's no way that Shanks would beat them up without a good reason. And they're like, well, I don't know. We saw what we saw, bro. And, after Luffy has insisted over and over that Shanks would never do that, they start to think, is like, I guess they were two identical people, maybe brothers. I don't know. I guess that could be true. And then Luffy explains that, well, I've never heard Shanks talk about his family, just that he was on a pirate ship ever since he was little. As our mysterious cloaked figure starts to walk up towards the Aurus Castle.
Oh, shit. Should we do a wrong Burgundy bet?
Okay.
Well, you are a glutton for punishment, huh, Brian?
I'm down to do it. I'm down to take it on because I'm pretty certain
it's either Scopper or it's
I'm hoping it's Scopper.
What's his name?
Keep saying his name.
Me personally, I think it's Scopper.
What Shiki?
So
It's either Scopper or Shiki.
I
Where's
think
the bold take that it's Shiki? You think it's Shiki? No fucking.
You want to do it,
way.
It kind of looks like him. It kind of looks like his attire.
Brian's. I don't know. I don't think it's him, but
it could be.
But because the back profile looks like him, Shiki does have this kind of hair. You see that his cloak back in the day.
Stripe?
Yeah, he has that that same striped thing. I'm not going to say that it is him. I'm going to say that it's Scopper, and I'm sticking by it, and that will be my wrong Burgundy bet.
All right. I'll be the Shiki.
I want to say one thing. I want to appeal to you guys before y'all really seal the deal on this bet. I'm going to try to talk you guys out of this, okay? Because I don't think this is that serious. Listen.
It is that serious.
It is that serious.
This is a duel between brothers.
Just listen, all right?
All right, I'm listening.
Oda said that Strong World was not canon. We know this already.
The events of Strong World are not canon, but Shiki is canon.
Right. I know I'm not memeing right now. I'm being serious, okay? So I don't think he would invalidate his movie that hard by throwing Shiki right in their face and everyone acting like they haven't seen him before. Listen, it's one thing to have a movie with characters that you never have to worry about them coming up in the story again, but that's really fucking bold. Strong World is a movie that probably still makes money for him or the studios. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that's too bold. That's too bold. I think it's fine if we just leave Shiki to the past and then he's never back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give that reason particularly. I just don't think that Shiki would have any reason to be friendly towards the Straw Hats.
So he's older now. He's different. He's changed.
He would be the same age. He would meet
the real world appeal of him not doing that to a story that came out from One Piece, like a movie.
I don't think it's him. What if we're both wrong?
He just jacked his whole swag. So you're saying if it's Scopper just jacked Shiki's.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that Shiki had a monopoly on striped cloaks.
I knew he was gonna say
and long hair.
And long hair. Only Shiki could rock those things.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna tell me because this guy, whoever he is, certainly is the father of that giant kid. Colin. You're telling me Shiki bagged Ripley?
Yeah.
You know what, Brian? I didn't hear you answer. I didn't hear your reaction to what I was trying to say. Chris said he's not willing to accept that as a reason for Shiki not being in it. But does that mean anything to you? Do you really think the movie just doesn't matter that much at all? I know it's not canon, but it's still a One Piece movie.
Yeah, no, it was honestly
one of the most popular ones at that.
I think it's the best One Piece movie, not gonna lie. But I think Shiki's was a pretty cool character. And I'd like to see him back in the story in like a bigger role. Not gonna lie.
Nah.
Like his devil fruit was sick. His lore is sick.
I'm writing it down right now.
All right, it's locked in. The wrong burgundy bet. The first
Wait,
wrong
what happens
burgundy.
if it's neither of them?
Are we both,
both
wrong,
wrong
burgundy? I will accept that. If it's neither Scopper nor Shiki, I'm okay with being wrong burgundy.
All right, fine, me too. Because it
That's
has to
lovely
be
to me.
either of them. Because it cannot. There's no
nice.
third person that it could be.
Yeah, that's
Other
what I
than-
think.
Well, maybe it
So-
could be the author guy.
Author guy.
Yeah, remember the guy at the beginning of the arc?
Don
where they're
Freaks?
just like, yeah. What? No. The guy who's like was writing the books and he's just like, don't stay on Elbaf for too long.
Oh, you think it's him?
It could be him.
Louis
but
Arnott?
yeah, there's nobody else it could be aside from those three, right?
The fucking guy has to be 800 years old. He wrote that like mad long ago.
All right.
Oh, I don't know, Brian. Now you got me thinking, fuck.
There's only three people it could be.
No, but
Shiki,
then-
Scobber, and
Louis Arnott.
Arno.
But wait, why would he be chilling with Crocus?
He was just traveling the world. Just writing shit.
I don't like it. I'm sticking
He
with
can float, right?
No,
He has the float.
that's what Shiki has.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about someone else.
Yeah, we're talking about Louis
I
Arnott.
think it's fair that if both y'all are wrong, no one has to do the wrong burgundy. It's all wrong. Burgundy is personal. Wrong
Yeah, but we'd
burgundy
be
is about
wrong.
You were wrong. I was right, and you're gonna suffer. You're gonna feel how wrong you were. That's what it's about. So if neither of y'all were right, it's not. There's no. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Well, then what are the stakes?
What do you mean? What are the
What
stakes?
are the stakes if we're
If
both
one of y'all
wrong?
are
We're putting
right
our
about-
pride on the line here.
I need
Yeah, that means
I need the
if it
high
happens
rope.
to be Shiki or Scopper. If it's anybody else, y'all were both wrong, and that's a regular. Y'all was wrong.
I appreciate you trying to spare my life, Josh.
It's not about that. Y'all not listening to my. Are you listening to the logic?
I am, but you could say the
Yeah,
same
rational
logic
pride.
for us taking on the wrong burgundy moniker because we were
I
both
appreciate
incorrect.
you trying to spare my life is great.
Right. You have like someone has to be wrong and someone has to be right. So,
But
and I'm gonna
both
make an,
people
and
in
I'm
this
gonna- I'm gonna
situation can be
also
wrong.
Just another amendment while we're here. After this, I think all future ones. You know what? Nah, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say they have to include all three of us, but nah, they don't have to.
do you want to make a guess?
No, please. I have no idea. That might be somebody we've never met, and I'd be okay with that.
Oh shit! You willing to be wrong burgundy about it?
No, I just told you no. I got it written
Oh
down.
my god, I'm
right
scared
here.
because it might also be someone from Wano.
Okay.
It might be someone from Wano.
Well, we
Hey,
could
listen,
finish
I'm
up the
locked
chat.
in, Chris.
I'm also locked in. I'm not saying anything, but
All right.
All right, Scott or Shiki.
what if it's one of the guys that escaped when Yamato let him go? What if it's
But this guy visited Crocus.
what if
remember?
it's one of the Shimotsuki swordsmen that escaped that looked like Zoro that was chilling with Yamato in the cave? I can't do it. I'm locked in. It's Scopper. It's Scopper for sure.
Good luck, pal.
Look,
See you next
look,
week.
Luffy, as he's walking up, Luffy's saying that he was on a pirate ship when he was little. And look who's walking up. Someone he would have been on a pirate ship with when he was little.
Yeah, good luck, buddy. Good luck, pal. See you next week. See you next week, pal. We'll see.
You think I'm scared of you?
Oda's on my side, buddy.
Oda's on my
Sorry.
side, dude. I'm his most fervent supporter. I'm
Can't
like
even
his
recognize
Robin.
Shiki when you're looking at him.
I'm like his Robin. I'm reading all the texts. I'm trying to find the void sentry.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm throwing the dog in this race. It ain't Shiki.
Oh,
Ooh.
I gave that whole theory. You know what? And my reason is because of I don't think he gonna shit on the movie like that.
he's not gonna shit on the movie.
Listen,
It's
But
gonna
I
be
don't know.
peak.
I don't think it's gonna be Scopper though. I just don't think. It's
listen to
gonna
the
be Shiki.
words as he's walking up. But I've never heard him talk about his family. just that he was on a pirate ship since he was little. I thought Roger and Rayleigh and those guys were his family, the Roger pirates.
Yeah, and then it's the ultimate
And then it's gonna be
subversion. It's the ultimate subversion because they're like, oh shit, yeah, we're talking about the Roger pirates. Psych, it was his greatest rival, quote unquote.
Shiki was
Allegedly
not
greatest.
his greatest rival.
Allegedly,
He was not his greatest rival. That was Whitebeard, if anything.
one of his rivals.
Yo, Roger stuck a fucking wheel in his head.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why he's wearing the hat.
What?
You never noticed
Notice-
Shiki has like a fucking ship's wheel on his head?
Gold D. Roger?
No, Shiki.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He has like a ship,
They haven't shown his head
wheel.
and they haven't shown his feet.
Which are pegs.
And the hair color is wrong for Scoffer.
feet are
Scoffer
swords,
has
actually.
black hair.
He's old now.
So
He got gray hair.
it doesn't even look gray. It looks
It's
more like
fucking
blonde.
black and white, Brian. What do you want?
I don't know, man.
Okay. We'll see.
I'm locked in.
You'll all see. God, I hope I'm not wrong. Anyway, moving onward. We go over to Team Frankie, which is literally just Frankie and Ripley. And they're just walking, you know. Ripley is literally carrying Frankie like an action figure, which I think is kind of adorable in a way. And Frankie is just being stoked about all the Jewel Atom tree. And he's like, wow, I guess the wood's not that rare after all. And Ripley's like, is it really that valuable? Maybe I should go into the business and start selling it. And Frankie's like, well, you know, you can't because then, you know, Saul already scolded me for trying to take some. He said, this is a holy tree. Don't you go cutting pieces of it loose now. And he's making Ripley laugh. Look at Frankie. Fucking goated, just flirting with the giant. So she puts him down, and Frankie notices a giant mural that we see, and Ripley explains that the mural was drawn by children, and it's a cultural relic due to its historical value. The mural was like carved and fossilized into the tree by children like 800 and 900 years ago, between 800 and 900 years ago, which means this was drawn during the Void Century. And Frankie's like, whoa, we got to show this to Robin. And he's like, I'll tell her about it later. And then he's looking at it. He's like, well, I got to say, for an Elbaf, for a drawing from Elbaf, they don't all look like giants to me. And we see a little princess that with little scales on one. We see Emmett.
Mermaid.
Yeah, we see a little Emmett action going on. We see this little animal. And Ripley goes on to explain that in the history they're familiar with, there were sometimes wars between races, but never a cultural exchange. And maybe that simply means that this was nothing more than a child's dream. And I got to say something about this in our thoughts section, because I think this is kind of important and a little bit of foreshadowing. So, yeah, we cut back to the Walrus School where Saul is showing off the Harley, which is the historical text of the Giants. And Saul explains that all the various myths and legends of Elbaf were created based on this original text, and there are so many interpretations on it. And it means that the Sun God and all the warriors of Elbaf believe in, that all the Sun Gods warriors of Elbaf believe in, has a different personality depending on who is telling the story. And Robin asks to read it, and Saul explains, of course you can read it. He explains that the story is split up into 3 chapters, and they say that the 3rd chapter describes the world they are currently in. And it's about something that's going to happen in the future. He says, in fact, the legends of Nika are seated all throughout the world. The one common feature is that he always shows up laughing to this rhythm. And Saul starts doing the Nika dance, and Robin starts reading it. And the chapter ends with a big 2-page spread revealing the mural as we see Robin reading the 3 chapters of the book, which are the first world, the second world, and the third world. We will go into the mural and the text in our thoughts section because I've written notes. So, yeah, let's get into it. That was One Piece chapter 1138. Josh, do you want to go first? I thought you mentioned wanting to not go first.
I'll just share my thoughts real quick. This is my chapter of the week.
Oh,
actually.
I mean, it goes without saying for me too.
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, RGC.
Hey, it's a unified, really good chapter of the week. Let me find the drop.
Unified RGC. Unified RGC. Unified RGC.
Okay, go for it, Josh.
Okay. To start with, going all the way back to Shamrock, I really like his ability or whatever. You know, maybe he has his own devil fruit too, which is why I think his sword is definitely a devil fruit power. I think there's like layers to this, like that, because that could be a way for him to like have 2 different abilities. So just speculation, but man,
That's
the
smart.
Cerberus sword. I mean, I used to crack so much jokes about this sword that ate a gun fruit. What was
Yeah.
it? The sword that ate a dog fruit.
Yeah, it was a gun that ate a dog fruit.
And then what else? A sword that ate an elephant fruit? Or
Yeah,
something
that's
like that?
Spandam's sword.
Oh man. So I mean, for us to just get to the logical conclusion of ancient Zoan that was fed to a sword somehow. Yeah, that's really sick. I mean, and with heads that launch off.
Yeah, it's an awakened sword at that.
Yeah, it's awakened. It's been through some shit.
Yeah.
And you just pick that up. That ain't for show, man. That's for real. Yeah, Loki's dead. Not really, but you know, he got stabbed 3 times. Someone's gonna have to revive him or something. I want to talk about this mural a little bit and what I see on the last page. That's Laboon's grandfather. We have the animal person. That's Cat Viper's great grandfather. That's Emmett, regular Emmett. You know, that's the king. You know, with the horns. That's the you know, giant king. And you see all these different boats. I mean, like you see the Sun Pirates one. That's probably the fish. Well, they already have the mermaid there. I mean, I get what's going on. I see the whole picture.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fighting against Emu. And look on this boat. They got 5 people there. 5 elders. See? So, I checked some stuff out. Just wanted to shout some things out before.
pretty good.
All right. In the first page, so there's like a large snake-like creature, and there's another one on the left side, like a bird-type creature. I think that's Onyx and Charizard from the Pokemon series.
Do you think they crossed over?
Yes. And that's why it's the Void Century. Because it's covered by copyright in Shueisha. So, yeah. Charizard's on the tree and Emu's a hater. Brian, what were your thoughts?
I don't have much to say, but I did notice something. So on the first page, between the fire that's being breathed on by like the 2 giant creatures, what does that look like to you guys?
It's the Arc Maxim.
That looks like, and there's also lightning coming out from it too. I've noticed as
It's
well.
the Arc Maxim.
Yeah, and it's close to the moon too, so it's just no coincidence. That is for sure Eneru's fucking ship. Pretty fucking crazy to see it reappear like this. People have been literally every time a shadowy figure comes up, they are like, "Oh, it's Eneru. It's Eneru. Eneru's back. Eneru's gonna show up during Wano. Eneru's gonna show up during Dressrosa. Eneru's gonna show up here." Everybody has been waiting for this motherfucker to come back. This guarantees that he is coming back at some point in this series. Guarantees.
You willing to stake your pride on that?
Yeah, I'd be willing to be wrong Burgundy on this too.
I would also be willing to be wrong Burgundy about it.
There's no. This is the only genuine proof that we have of Eneru coming back into the series. Like before, it was kind of like maybe he might come back, maybe he might not. But this is legit hard physical proof that he is going to come back. And honestly, hey, people forget Eneru is actually a fucking big problem. He is a big fucking deal guy. He
Luffy.
only lost by coincidence. He only lost because Luffy just happened to be his natural enemy. He washes all like 90% of One Piece.
Oda has once said that Eneru's devil fruit is technically the strongest.
Yeah, have you seen the shit that he did in Skypiea? He literally can nuke people from anywhere in like from miles away from him.
Yeah, but people got hockey now. You know,
He has hockey.
He does not. He has armor. He has observation hockey.
Yeah, his observation
hockey man?
hockey was so fucking
You mean a fighter
powerful.
who relies on hockey?
yeah, man. Zoro could slice him up.
He probably could now.
Yeah, he
You know
probably
about
could.
the onigiri?
I don't know. I still think that's pretty wild that makes a reappearance here after all this time. But yeah, those are my thoughts. That was the main takeaway for me. I was just like, oh shit.
Okay. All right. So I wrote notes, and I don't usually write notes because I'm a bad note taker. But this time I had to. But first, I want to do some other tertiary things that I wanted to note for this chapter. The Cerberus sword is very cool. I hadn't considered, Josh, that Shamrock might have a devil fruit of his own. And I think that's a very interesting thought, especially since that would make him even more of an inverse to Shanks, who's obviously...
A hockey man? You mean a fighter who relies on hockey?
So, you know, that's
On
very...
a sword fighter, which is like
Exactly.
the opposite. Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, I definitely think that there's merit to what you said there. I think Ripley mentioning about the cultural exchange. There have been many wars between the people, between races, but never a cultural exchange, and that being nothing more than a child's dream is very similar to how people react to Luffy when he tells them their dreams. So I think that Luffy maybe not specifically is dreaming for a cultural exchange because he's dumb, but it's more of a uniting of the people all around the world in some way, probably to have a party. Or maybe to, you know, the cultural exchange could be food related, you know, like a big party where everybody brings their culture's food and they all eat together and it's a big old party. But I feel like that was like kind of foreshadowing on their part. Now on to the mural, the main event. And, you know, I do know that there are many YouTube channels out there that probably broken this down way better than I probably am about to. But you're here with us, and we appreciate that. So let's get into it. I want to start with this little city on the far right of the page. This is that city that was eliminated by the world government. That's what I think, because it is. You see the little machines there, the little mechanisms. We've known before that it says that this society was very technologically advanced. And I think this is the children's way of explaining that. Just little random machines, buildings. It looks like a refined city that existed in the first world. This serpent, the only connection I can make with it is that the Shandians that currently live in Skypiea, they believed in the serpent god, which we know it's not Onyx. Unless you want to make a wrong Burgundy bet about that.
No, not that certain.
No. But yeah, this
It might be
serpent,
Felix.
this serpent was known as the forest god. And so are so is the snake that lived in Shandia at the time. So I think that's that snake. That's that snake from that pantheon. There's a sun god snake, and there is a serpent that is a forest god as well. So I think that is the two gods that are clashing. And we do know there are multiple interpretations of the sun god. So that is what we see here. Obviously, we see the Arc Maxim that must have ended up on a sky island somehow during this war. And Eneru probably found it and fixed it with the labor of the Skypians that he captured. Yeah, we do see the mention of the moon, which is exactly where Eneru ended up. And yeah, we see people carrying these little pieces of sun. My initial instinct is that this is the mother flame somehow, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. We also see the Noah's Ark that was in the Fishman Island rising up at this point. And the animals down there below might be the Neptunians, but that's neither here nor there. I don't really have a whole lot beyond that. The tree in the middle, you see it in the bottom, where the Ark Maxim is coming in from the sky. You see Noah's Ark down below.
Oh, yeah, like that's probably Noah's Ark, yeah.
Yeah, so, and there's an angel down there, which is interesting. I don't know who that is. It's probably a Lunarian of some sort. We only know of people the only people who have wings are the Lunarians and Skypians.
So that's probably a Skypian, and the other is probably a Lunarian on the other side by the whale.
Yes, yeah, definitely. There's this weird dragon thing that might be the sun god of that time, and it clashed with the forest god, creating a void. The second world text is a little vague. The only thing I can really draw from it, and this is my big theory, is they mentioned that the half moon dreamed, those of the moon dreamed, man killed the sun and became God, and the sea god stormed, and they will never meet. I think that this talks about the emergence of the devil fruits, because the devil fruits are created from dreams of people that want something or want to become something. They represent an evolution in mankind, and the sea god stormed. And the sea god is known to get angry at those who eat devil fruits and rob them of their ability to swim. So I think the second world is when the devil fruits came along. The third world is supposed to be now, like what we're going to see. So, obviously there's Luffy as Nika. He has a sword and shield. I don't know how literal that's supposed to be taken, that he has a sword and shield. I wouldn't take it super literally. We see possibly Loki, and that I think this is that giant sword that's embedded in the island of Elbaf that he's wielding, which is, if true, is pretty sick.
Yeah.
The ship with the little circles on it, I think that's supposed to be Alabasta. Because we see one person, and that's probably Vivi, and another person. I don't know who that would be. We see the Wano samurai, who are probably going to pull up at some point. The guys with the sword and the little ninja stars. Yeah. It's clearly Wano people. The little animal thing with the sword could either be a mink or it could be Yamato. Because Yamato also has a wolf devil fruit.
Yeah.
That's true.
This whale, I've heard similar thoughts that this could be the same as Laboon's thing. I'm not super convinced, but I don't have a counter argument. So
he's as big as a Neptunian. He's basically a Neptunian himself, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't have any counter arguments. So for now, I'm willing to accept that. I just don't know who the people writing him are.
He is from the West Blue, though. So I guess there's not. Do they have Neptunians?
Well, no,
in
there's
the-
like
in the
giant whales like this in the Grand Line. Laboon has just not gone with them because he's waiting for his crew to come back.
Oh, right.
There's a Lunarian here, obviously. We don't know if this is King in particular. Maybe there's another Lunarian out there. But that is definitely a Lunarian. And we see a mermaid princess, possibly Shirahoshi. And this is a mink. I think the little bear next to them is supposed to represent the minks.
And the Tontata.
Yep, there's a tiny little Tontata there. Could be Leo, could be the princess of the Tontatas, but I think it's likely Leo since he's a little warrior. And that
You think the big one next to them is a Buccaneer?
which one?
Like the big guy with the shield next to the mink?
I think that's a giant, but because it's too big. Buccaneers are big, but they're not like giants. I think this is supposed to be representative of Loki specifically, and this is possibly just a regular giant from Elbaf. Representing like an Elbaf army of some sort. Perhaps Adrudan, I don't know. And of course, Josh mentioned this could be the 5 elders. I see that now, but there are 6 of them, so they're possibly the Holy Knights as well. I don't know.
Wait, where's the 6th one?
One in the very front of the boat. There's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I thought there's only the whole. I thought there was.
Oh,
only
there's
5
one
others.
hanging off the ship.
Yeah, there's one hanging off
I
the
didn't
ship.
know
So
that.
there's 6 of them. Could be Holy Knights. Could be whatever. It could be. It doesn't matter. It's the forces of Emu. Either way. And obviously, this is Emu holding the Mother Flame. I would imagine. And yeah. This is, but that's my thoughts on what all of these things represent.
Look like Emu throwing that ill hook shot.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got. I hope I did a good job here, but this is what my notes
That
have
was a
said.
nice explanation. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm definitely way more interested with the right side of the mural. I'm trying to see where
Because that's the
there's a
lore
clear-
side.
Yeah, where there's a clear, definitive I'm sure the 3 weapons is in this, even if it's like
Even
via
if it's obscured
metaphor.
somehow, some way. If you want to say that, like, maybe the samurai are writing Pluton in, that's a possibility, because Pluton lives right beneath Wano.
The samurai.
Yeah, the little samurai. If you want to say that, if you want to mention that,
No, I don't think that's Pluton.
I mean, they don't know what it looks like. It could be a little. If anybody's
think-
I just think it's an interesting point to think where the ancient weapons could be in all this picture. And if I were to guess, the samurai could be writing in on Pluton because Pluton exists right beneath Wano.
I think the 3 weapons are all in the first picture. That's what I'm trying to say. Like on the right side, I think you have the arc. No, the arc isn't. No, that's one of the weapons, right?
Well, one of the weapons is a person, and that's Poseidon.
Yeah. Oh, so that. All right, never mind.
But the other 2
guess
are,
they-
I think the Uranus, not my anus, could be, it could be Maxim. Noah's not a weapon, I don't think, because it's just a ship.
Yeah.
But I think Noah's supposed to pull up with all of the Neptunians and all of the fishmen. But who's to say? I don't know.
Yeah, this is fucking epic. This is a
Yeah.
insane lore dump.
Crazy lore dump, and I love it. I love every second of it. I spent like a half hour looking at it. I was like, what did I miss? What did I miss?
What did I wish?
Said,
I need to remember
How am I-
everything on this
what am I
mural
not
for my
eating?
trivia.
Josh is gonna fucking quiz me on it when he catches up to it.
500 chapters after this, Josh is going to ask me about the mural, and I will have a perfect photographic memory of it.
Josh will have forgotten about the mural, and he will ask me about it.
The questions only count or like up until Shibodi.
Okay.
Basically.
All right.
Anything post Shibodi, that's off limits.
Okay.
Because I remember that shit too.
Well, we'll see.
Not every detail, but
Well, we'll see.
I remember it enough for it to not be unbelievable that you remember it.
Mm-hmm.
How does that, if that makes sense?
That makes sense. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I thought this was an incredible chapter. You know me, I love lore. And this was a lot of lore. Very into it. I'm glad One Piece is not off next week. We are going to get some continuation here. Very excited about that. But those are my thoughts. Do you have any other thoughts, boys?
No.
Fantastic. With that, we can move onward. Sakamoto Days. This is Sakamoto Days, chapter 199, Ikari. We got color pages to start this one off of Sakamoto and the gang playing baseball, but Shin is beating up a TV.
Sure is.
I think it looks good. It's a good cover page. But anyway, we are continuing on with the flashback arc that we're currently undergoing, explaining Shin and Sakamoto's first mission. They are hunting down Shin's father, Ando, together for separate reasons. For Sakamoto, he is a target to be assassinated by, and Shin is just looking for his dad. Where are you, Dad? And he's found him. They've had a couple of misadventures on this boat already, including a piano assassin, and now they have caught up to Ando, who, after they've defeated all his friends, is just standing there, posted up on one of these columns, and he's like, "Yo." And Shin is frozen. He's like, "Dad," and Sakamoto's like, "It's Ando, my target." And he's like, "Geez, what do you want from me, Shin?" And he's like, "This dirtbag knows my name. This deadbeat motherfucker, he knows my name. He pretended he didn't know me." And Ando is like, "I guess you must resent me, but I resent you too." And he said, "You're the reason that JA is after me. Thanks to you, I lost everything. You've been the bane of my existence."
Damn.
Rough. So Shin is properly traumatized, and he says, "Are you for real? You think you could BS me? So you're trying to run away again, huh? I know what you're thinking." And then Ando clicks a button, and part of the boat explodes. And Ando explains to Sakamoto that he's planted another bomb on the ship that is 10 times stronger than the one he just detonated, and if he dies, it explodes, taking out about 7,000 passengers with him. And he says, Article 23 of the JAA regulations prohibits killing bystanders. You can't kill me. And Sakamoto's like, using innocent bystanders as human shield? You're pure scum. So, you know, he's like, ha, a hitman lecturing about morals? How rich. Sakamoto asks him where the bomb is, and he's like I tell you, once the ship leaves port, we'll be in international waters in 30 minutes out of JA's jurisdiction. He says, you already lost the battle when I got on board. So Sakamoto starts to dash at him, and then he gets interrupted by a fucking anchor slamming into him and knocking him backwards. It was pretty cool. And then we see Ikari pull up, one of the henchmen, coming back, swinging the anchor around like it's nothing. And he's like, you're late, Ikari. And Ikari is like, don't say that, Mr. Ando. I didn't want to interrupt your family reunion, so I was holding myself back. And he starts fighting. He throws the anchor. Sakamoto dodges it, and Shin and Sakamoto start running away. So Sakamoto, I guess, could have a second to think. He thinks, if I kill Ando now, the ship will blow up. So I gotta find the bomb and disarm it. And he's like, you read his thoughts, right? And Shin's like, no, I didn't. I forgot. And Sakamoto's like, you're lying. He's like, after you find the bomb, you're going to kill my dad, right? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking for sure, dude.
Go to hell.
He's just like, go to hell. Why should I help you? He may be skunned, but he's my long lost dad. Who do you think you are anyway? What do you know? And then all of a sudden, Sakamoto pushes Shin out of the way, and he takes an anchor to the chest. Fucking Ikari pulls up and starts sniffing Shin's hair, and he's like, it's intense. I don't like it. Dude, he grabbed him like this. He was,
Yeah, you do smell ever so faintly of Ando. Ellipses.
Disturbing.
he said, you little maggot, you think you're so hot because you're closer to Ando than me?
You see the stress mark?
He's pissed. The vein popping out of his
Yeah,
head.
Doflamingo-esque hatred coming
Yeah,
out.
with
right now.
Doflamingo-esque shades. And Shin's like, what's with this freak? Gross. And he's like, you hateful little twerp interrupting my special cruise with Ando. He says, die. And then that's when a life preserver flips over his head, and Sakamoto does a cool Sakamoto thing and just yeets him over towards him. Pretty sick, pretty cool, pretty badass. Sakamoto tells Shin to run, and Ikari gets up and is like, you're no ordinary small fry. Where'd you come from? And Sakamoto goes, the Order. It's pretty sick, pretty cool, and that's where the chapter ends. Josh, what did you think about Sakamoto Days, chapter 199?
Yeah, this shit was absolutely buck wild off the wall. Weirdo alert! Weirdo alert!
Dang, I should have gotten that sound, the Dave Blood sound ready. I heard he was a pedophile.
Yeah.
He's a candidler.
He's like, you think you're closer to, you think you're hot shit because you're closer to.
That's his literal son.
Meanwhile, he just met him.
That's his son. That's his son that he's been avoiding.
Yes. And he was like, I didn't want to You have to wait. He was so mad. He was like interrupting our little cruise together. That shit was so funny. Yeah, you interrupted my special cruise with it. Yo, this was hilarious. But your boy Sakamoto came through with the safety. With the life ring. Threw him through a few fucking walls. It's pretty cool. I like when they do shit like that.
Yeah.
But this person's no joke. And I ain't gonna lie, I completely forgot that Sakamoto was part of the Order.
He only mentions it like 12 times. It feels like every arc they're like, Sakamoto was in the Order.
Am I confusing that with the top tier group? What's the name of the top tier group?
That's the Order.
It's the Order.
Oh,
He was part of the Order before he retired, I think.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Takamura was part of the Order. God damn, what a cool character Takamura was.
Yeah, definitely. That's all I gotta say. Feel bad for this for Shin. I get it though. He's not stupid. He's a kid that wants to make a connection with his father, his biological father, and he's too hopeful to see that, not only does his father not want anything to do with him, but he's probably not the type of person worth maintaining a meaningful relationship with anyway. So that's rough. And I have a soft spot for series that take their time to let people express their emotions, especially kids, even if it's annoying. Like in other series I've just finished that we will talk about soon in our pre-show pod.
Yeah.
I highly respect it. Brian, what were your thoughts?
This is pretty sick. I like the nautical themed weaponry going around. The fucking lifeboat and the anchor. This is pretty fire.
I didn't think.
I'm
about
really
that.
excited for a water park themed battle here. Just them sliding around inside these tube slides. So far,
Yeah, you know Sakamoto's about to violate.
He's about to turn a lawn chair into a whip, and
this is
He's
gonna.
probably
This
gonna
is,
surf him on the slide.
Yo, if he ends up surfing,
that would be so cool. Wave machine. Imagine they like in like they like fight in a wave machine too. That would be pretty cool.
yeah.
There's a lot. I don't know. This is what I love about Sakamoto Days. They pick a setting and then they're like, all right, let's use literally anything that comes from it, except for the prison. Anyway, yeah, this arc is this. I love this mini arc. So great. So great.
That's his face right
Chris,
now.
what are your thoughts?
Why are you looking?
Oh, that was very subliminal and subtle.
He's throwing sneak disses.
What? No, I'm just. I was just saying. I love this arc. This arc is.
It's still the same arc. It's an arc within the arc. So you love the jail arc.
What are we talking about? I thought we were talking about the cruise.
Yeah. The cruise
Does
arc.
the Odin Pass count as the Wano arc,
Yeah.
Brian?
It's the longest flashback within an arc.
Brian,
Oh God.
Yeah. What's up?
does it count?
Well, listen. All I can recall right now is that they're on a boat. That's all I know.
It's not the Odin flashback arc. It's the Wano arc, but it has a flashback in it.
Yeah, they went from training and now they're on the boat. That's all I remember.
They're not training. They're going through a life or death situation.
Yeah, they're trying to retrieve the JAA fortune teller. They weren't going training.
Yeah, it was very interesting for them to go from Shin needing training and then going straight to a flashback about Shin with nothing in between. That was very interesting.
You really hate that arc, huh? What do you want? Brian won't be satisfied unless they fight with the bars of the jail.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
Unless they yank off the bars of the jail and then Heisuke uses them as bullets.
How fire would that have been, though? You tell me.
It would
How
not have been
fire
that
would that have
fire.
been?
That's
It would have been cool if they had to, like,
Alright.
plan like a prison break, like break out of their fucking cells. No, they just, we beat this guy. All right, we freely get to walk around the entire prison. All right.
You just don't understand, Brian.
Oh, this bow and arrow guy wants to fight me. Here, let's do this in the most not prison area that we could
I don't know what
possibly
you
have.
want. They're in a prison.
Yeah. Think about this arc though. This little flashback already did what that arc has not done at all. Well, they has done it a little bit, but not as much as I should have. Like,
Brian, do you know what
immediately
cool?
cruise setting. We're fighting
Cool.
in a fucking area where a musician is playing. Okay, now they are using life fucking rafts and goddamn anchors, and now they're gonna fight in a fucking slide, a water park slide on the fucking cruise. That's already, there are so many things that have to do with the setting that are already being like prominently put forward.
Isn't that Sakamoto's thing though?
Yeah, that's Sakamoto's
No,
thing.
It's not Sakamoto's
It
thing.
is Sakamoto's
It's Shin's things too. It is Shin's thing
It is
too.
not Shin's
No, you cannot say that it's only Sakamoto's thing. Sakamoto's thing is that he uses the like fucking random shit,
The
right?
environment.
But Shin uses the environment,
The environment.
itself to his advantage.
Shin uses
That's-
psychic
Well, 'cause
powers.
not all right, not to the degree that you're expecting though, because that's what Sakamoto. That's Sakamoto. Hold on, wait. That's Sakamoto's bread and butter, without a doubt. Until he levels up and finds, I don't even think he's gonna change it. I think he's just gonna do it better. But that's a side note. Shin does that sometimes in fights, but that's because he's smart, not a fucking dummy. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll make people crash into shit or whatever, but he's not like when he was fighting that guard dude. It's not like he's seen the fish falling. Like he hit him with it, but it's not like he was like he used the bones from the fish to slice him like up or like cut him or do some like crazy shit. He hit him with a fucking
That's
fish.
not what I'm saying. That's not what that's literally not what I'm
I would have
arguing.
beat somebody with a fish if it was in my hands and I was
Yeah,
fighting.
you
them.
know what I'm saying?
That's not what I'm arguing, though. I'm not arguing for him to be like Sakamoto. I'm arguing it for him to be like Shin, because Shin, like they're both two sides of the same coin. Sakamoto focuses on objects, and Shin focuses on the environment. That's like his thing. Like the environment is just as important to Shin as it is to Sakamoto.
Okay, but it's a jail. They're not going to have shit lying around for him to
There's
use.
so much you could do in that setting. There's so much you could do in that setting, and they did the bare minimum. They already are doing 20 times
Whatever,
more
bro.
creative shit on a fucking cruise.
But you know what? Shin did use the environment that one time. He used the shelves.
He did. He made, and when they tricked out the bow and arrow dude. The bow and arrow guy's been using his environment like crazy too. That's what I was gonna ask you earlier when I was being very patient. Who's all right before this bow and arrow dude whose name I forgot already?
Tenkyu?
Yeah, Tenkyu. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Who's the next? Yeah, that was cool. Who's the next best like archer from like a manga series you remember before him?
Uryu.
Yeah, I guess it would be Uryu. I don't remember
Even
any
if
others.
I accept that,
I don't remember any others. I really
want to
don't.
resist that, Brian, because I'm a hater. But I'll take that. How many years ago was that? It was a minute.
Yeah, it was a minute. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's not like they didn't give us something cool.
I'm just disappointed.
That's it.
I'm just disappointed on how they use the prison. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But the cruise, this is exactly the shit that I'm talking about. This is just perfect example of what I'm talking about.
But
That's all I'm
Heisuke's
saying.
not there.
Perfect utilization of the setting. That's all I'm saying. The prison is not perfect utilization of the setting. That's just my point.
Anyway, this is
Like
my.
the next fight is gonna be fucking is gonna be perfectly using the setting, I bet. But yeah, that's it.
Well, this is my second favorite chapter of the week. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Excited to see the action and all that stuff. This guy has a weapon that doesn't seem to be. I don't know what it is. It's probably going to be some mace or something. I don't know. It seems it's a stick with a chain, so something's going to be on the opposite of the end of that chain.
Maybe that's still the anchor.
Yeah, I hope he still keeps using the anchor, to be honest.
I'm trying to see if he had a handle before. Yeah, it had a handle. Kinda.
Did it? Oh, it did have the. Yeah.
if you go back
Okay,
to
so he
page,
is.
13
So this guy,
or
his
12.
main weapon of choice is just an anchor. That's crazy.
Pretty sick.
Perfect for a boat. That's all I'm saying.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh my god! But what if he just goes somewhere else that's not nautical? Then it's going to be
It's
out of
still-
place,
He's-
and it's
he
going to
first
ruin your
appeared
day.
on the boat.
So,
It's going to ruin your
The
day.
fact that he appeared on the boat first is what makes it important.
All right, whatever. There's not much to say because it's an
Brian
action
likes
chapter.
this theme storytelling. That's cool. I'm not mad at him.
I'm not mad at him either, but
Settings help paint a picture.
yeah. But in any case, great chapter. I enjoyed it a lot. Very excited to see what happens next in the fight. Very, very cool. We ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go.
Tell that pussy clot girl me know what.
Kagurabachi. All right, and with that, I'm going to toss this one over to Josh.
What's up, everybody? It's nice to be covering Kagurabachi again. we said our farewells to another series I covered last week, Undead Unluck. Y'all could check that out. But this is Kagurabachi, chapter number 66. So last week, they were able to save Samura's daughter from the clutches of the Hanami. Shit.
The oh shit, why am I forgetting them now?
Yeah. Damn, I didn't cover it for 1 week and I forgot it already. So the evil group. And they made it to this place called the Bloodshed Hotel, where I guess they're pretty safe because the entire faculty and staff is gooned out. And they're specialists. They're not like just, thugs from around the corner. They're like elite goons. They have self-discipline and courtesy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we cut to the room where our heroes or whatever are hanging out. And they're you know what? Last week they were going over also like if it was like worth unlocking Samura's daughter's memories, and they basically decided that they should let her decide, and if she does, they'll let her remember. But they also still have the plan to create another seal to make her forget again. So I guess they felt like it was only right to give her the chance to remember one more time. So yeah, again, we cut to the room, and his daughter is like, who is this person to me, this Seiichi Samura? And Chihiro just straight up is like, he's your father.
That's your daddy.
And yeah, Minnie Masumi pulls up immediately to hand her a snack. She's just like, oh, thanks. So she's like, oh, it can't be. I've never met my father. And then she remembers that Minnie Masumi before was like, oh, we manipulated your memories. So there's certain shit, obviously, you're going to forget. And she's like, and she starts eating her food because she's stressed the fuck out, which, I guess anyone would be
Yeah.
in that situation. Imagine like saying like, yo, we got your memories erased. I wouldn't even know how to react to that, honestly. So
I'll be like, you did what to my what?
They're telling like, yo, your current name and even like your situation is fake. Your real name is Iori Samura. And they explain how they sealed her memory for safety, and she asks, like basically like, what does that have, like why then they write his name down on paper. Her like I guess like her name, and she's like, oh, I've seen that name before. And Chihiro's like, yeah, you probably heard of him, like he was in your textbook at school. And I forget like how historic that event was. We actually get a little bit of lore about it right now. So apparently 22 years ago in Kagurabachi's universe, a small island called Shikoku appeared in the Southeast Seas, just appeared like mysteriously out of nowhere.
Like the island from Lost.
Yeah. Or like Mirage Island in Pokemon Emerald.
Yeah. Same thing. Across different lores, it's different, but it's always the island from Lost.
Can you get lychee berries on Lost Island?
Possibly.
Okay. Well, anyway, so along with that island came the Dat Tenseki, the raw material of the enchanted blades. And yeah, so the material originated there. And apparently they got invaded by the people of the island. They were immune to like the negative effects to the Dat Tenseki that make people like, like the humans blow up and shit. But I guess after a year and 5 months of fighting, Kunishige Rukahira, which is Chihiro's dad, created the 5 blades, and they swiftly ended the war. So the girls, the girls like, oh, like one of those heroes was my pops, and Minnie Mosby's like, yes. Of the five, Mr. Samurai possessed the fastest sword techniques. Oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's when Minnie Mosby explains, like, look, he was really strong, so him having a daughter was essentially a weakness to him that he felt like he had to do, he should do away with, so that his, the girl wouldn't be at risk and he wouldn't be able to be manipulated as strong as he was. And that's why he asked to steal the memories, right? As they're explaining all of this to her, she's like the memory of her pops is starting to come back. And then she asks him, like, oh, like, y'all talk, like, you guys are talking about him like as if you know him. Like, do you know where he's at? And they're like, yeah, he forgot you too. And basically, right when they explain that to her, she starts really starting to remember her father, and then his face clearly pops up in her image. But not only that, but this scene from the past of like all of this like writing on her house and a bunch of trash and garbage. People saying die, murderer, drop dead, sinner, killer, get lost. Oh, another Lost reference. So, and then there's a crow there eating the garbage. I guess those are Samura's crows, right? Because he sent his birds out to go murder those people that did that to him. I wouldn't put it past him. He said he's a monster, right?
Samura crows. Yeah.
Wow, and I thought Samura was gonna die. How about that? Wrong Burgundy. I was wrong. So, yeah, that's facts. That's facts. So, he says the reason he gave you, Chihiro explains to her, like, the reason he gave you up wasn't just because of, like, the threat to y'all. It was the fact that regardless of his status as a hero, a lot of people disagreed with, I guess, the methods that he used. And, a lot, as you've seen, he had a horrible reputation with some people. So, their life together would have been a constant struggle between her possibly getting kidnapped and, factions of people being disgusted with the samurais. This is a lot for her to handle, so she faints in typical manga fashion. Because this doesn't happen in real life when people get so fucking stressed that they pass out. It's not a real thing.
I think it does. I guess it depends on how stressed you are, but people pass out.
It definitely happens way more in comics, but
Definitely.
I guess that's not saying much, is it? And they put her in bed to rest, and Chihiro and Minnie Mosby talking to each other. Like, yeah. I mean, her whole life just fucking flipped in a matter of moments. And she was almost kidnapped. Like, I get why she would be overloaded like that. Then they bring up her mother, and Chihiro's like, oh, we don't need to tell her. I want her to still have the option of going home. Wonder what that means. Am I forgetting something about her mom? That I don't know?
Well, she does have a mom, but it's possible the idea is that, like, maybe her mom isn't her real mom and that she's being raised by someone else.
That's fair enough. Yeah. And Chihiro says her path is a painful one. Of course, the desire to live with the truth is real, but the whitewashed, ordinary life she's been living is just as sacred. It's up to her, so she has time to process the decision she wants to make, and it's our job to hold her down till then. So we cut to a couple of the other Masumi. I forget their names right now, but they're creating this like spell with scrolls, and they mention, like, the girl mentions, like, oh, like, why are we on the rooftop? And he's like, we're not allowed to commit any sorcery inside the hotel because it's gonna get all the other people like living there riled up, especially since most of them are like criminals and crime bosses and shit. So yeah, out of respect to the hotel, they're doing that on the roof. And the seal they're creating is again a seal to erase her memories again, which they may or may not use. Who knows? So we cut to the first floor of the hotel with the super gangster concierge, and he notices one of the there's an Ashaku. Oh, that's the name, the Ashaku. There's an Ashaku
You're
member
right.
there, and you're what's her name?
I don't remember the
Oh,
girl's name.
Oh, Toto. There, it says it right there.
Oh,
Toto uses some type of sorcery right on the couch to summon
I forget his name too.
the swordsman
dang
that fought the hero
Starts
and
with an
ended
H.
up with
I'll look it
Tobimune. I think that's the name of the sword. Yeah, he was the weirdo that lost his arms and was talking and spilled all the beans. And I guess he wants to be Chihiro's friend really bad. Anyway, he's talking to
Hirohiko.
Hirohiko. Thank you. Hirohiko and Toto is having a little conversation, trying to figure out where Samura's daughter is located at, along with Chihiro and them. And they're mentioning how it's a huge place, how and they're looking all through right now. But right after that, one of the I guess guards / concierge pulls up, and he's like, "Oh, pardon me, sorcery is strictly prohibited in this hotel." And before he could even finish his sentence, he gets his fucking head sliced off by Hirohiko's hairpin, because he mentioned that he obviously can't draw his enchanted sword, or Samura is gonna immediately pull up and carve him into pieces with ease. The name of his sword is Kumayuri. My bad. Tobimune, I think, is Samura's sword.
yeah, it's Tobimune.
He said, he's just saying, yeah, I gotta rely on my regular swordsman skills using my hairpin, so Mr. Samura doesn't pull up a big boy Tobimune, and the big boss concierge decides to withdraw his sword as Hirohiko says to himself, "The Bloodshed Hotel would be a good stepping stone." For what? I don't know. But that was Kagurabachi, chapter number 66. Brian, what were your thoughts?
I have a few thoughts. So firstly, this is the first time we've actually got a description of the contents of the war that the sword wielders were in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the first time we've actually known what the war actually was about. And now we finally know where the Datenseki comes from. So this is actually pretty interesting. So that means there was a literal war against enchanted blade level people everywhere. Because, like, the Datenseki, like these enchanted swords and stuff like that, they just allow people to use the Datenseki essentially as a weapon. The Datenseki by itself, if you're able to use it, you don't need enchanted blades. Really, it just gives you that fucking power. And we've seen like a little taste of what people could do with the Datenseki without it, like as its raw components during the auction house. One of what's his name? What's the name?
Oh
of
yeah,
the
one of the sons.
yeah,
the older brother.
Yeah, the jellyfish.
He
one.
did like he created like jellyfish out of his. We only saw like a of power like that is honestly like it's insane. All it took was 6 swordsmen It's a bit done. I'm curious how that ended because there's no island anymore. So if it's even still around or disappeared again. But that was pretty cool. Honestly, that was a pretty cool lore drop. I'm really glad we got to see a little bit more about the war. And aside from that, we got a little hint at Chihiro's next sword style. Since he's so good at picking up sword styles just by looking at it, he's definitely gonna pick up this one sword style region technique for sure.
Oh, that the staff is using?
Yeah, that the staff is using and Sengoku uses. So once Chihiro sees that, he's like, all right, I'll add that to my repertoire.
Yeah, he's like, Sharingan.
And if there's a one sword style, then there has to be a three sword style somewhere in this series.
God.
Well, I don't think one sword style, confirms the existence of a three sword. I think we need to see a two sword first.
Yeah, we need to keep
we're gonna go
leveling
straight to three swords. Zoro's gonna show up and he's gonna be the hidden sword, like enchanted sword wielder.
Mm-hmm.
That would be rough for the rest of the series. I mean, for the rest of the characters in the series. That would be really, really rough if he was the final foe.
Yeah, I agree.
That would be super duper tough. This might be like Jujutsu Kaisen, but spoilers, the bad guy actually wins. For real, for real.
But yeah, those are me thoughts. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Ooh, I thought this chapter was really cool. I do agree that seeing the lore drop of how it went down, I didn't think that they were actually fighting people from a separate island. I figured that it would be just like a group of evil sorcerers or whatever, but hey, that's interesting. I mean, these people don't seem to need the Datsenseki itself, so these people probably just had like superpowers for the most part. And the fact that it took only 5 enchanted swordsmen to bring them down is pretty nuts.
That's what I'm thinking. All right, on my bad, Chris. I do want to say this. I think like the Datsenseki that was used that what's his name? Kurohige. Chihiro's dad. Kurohige Rokuhiro. The ones that the fact that he like refined them and put them into the sword, I think made them like more potent than like the actual like people that came from the island using the Datsenseki, because I think that it was more like raw power, instead of as like varied and how like even creative, like the sword, like all of the sword powers are like paintbrushes in a way, how they create like these animals and shit, all this power. It's quite insane.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, you want to finish your thoughts?
yeah, the lore is cool. I feel like they're still like playing hard to get with it. And just like, we're not going to tell you exactly what happened, but I guess that's got to wait until we meet the other swordsmen. So, I was happy to get a little taste here, but I'm very excited to see how that actually turns out.
The series just keeps getting deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence that we got Void Century lore and Swordsman War lore in the same week?
Hokazono must have heard. He was like, I gotta compete. I gotta get out there and compete.
I'm not letting y'all smoke me like that.
Yeah.
Fight.
Yeah. Oh, you like lore drops, Oda? Well, here's one of my own.
Right. Because guess what? This was my second favorite chapter of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is mine too.
Yeah. But yeah, competing, dueling lore drops aside, it's just very interesting. Outside of that, it's a lot of just like, figuring out whether it's all right to do this in the first place. And I got sad for Samura and his family getting harassed a whole bunch. I think it's a thing that Samura couldn't really see it because he's blind, but Iori saw it, and that's pretty depressing. So, you know. But now things are going to get the stakes have been risen. Not only is one of the sorcerers that Kugiri was with there, but also Hirohiko is there, and you know he's a crash out king. So
Yes.
that professional sneeze button. But really, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next. Very, very stoked. It's interesting that all of the characters are kind of being reverted to using regular swordsmanship. It's really leveling the playing field in a sense.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting. It's just this is as much a training arc as probably the Sakamoto Days thing is. Because they're all going there to get better at their swordsmanship. So very excited to see where it goes. But that's all I really got to say about Kagurabachi. Do we have any rebuttals?
Nah.
All right. Well, that has been Kagurabachi. And that's been our show, ladies and gentlemen. Very brief week. We only had 3 series this week. We were counting on Dandadan to be here, but for some reason it's been on break for a couple weeks now. Hopefully it comes back next week. Yeah, what's going on, Brian? What's happening with Dandadan? Is it on hiatus?
I have no clue. I haven't heard any news about that. Maybe it's just on a break this week.
Down to hiatus.
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 Yes. But you know,
I don't think it's on hiatus. I think it's just maybe
taking a break
for some reason.
Whatever. I'm very excited for next week. You can follow me at the Chris Aspinall on Twitter and Instagram. Brian is at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. You can check him out where he's streaming probably at twitch.tv/its punchline. You can follow Josh at jdcole_37 on Instagram, at New Jump City Josh on Twitter and TikTok. Follow the show on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. Blah blah blah. Well, I try to post there, but sometimes I forget. Subscribe to this show on audio platforms wherever you listen to podcasts, and as well as YouTube, especially YouTube. I'm working hard to make these video episodes really cool. This episode, I'm going to edit a little bit extra cool shit in here, so I hope you guys appreciate it, and give us a like, give us a share, subscribe, make my day. But with that being said, that has been our show. We will see you guys next week. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Later.
Bye.
Peace.